Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky, Game 2 of this doubleheader, Game 2 of the series between the Cardinals and the 7th-ranked Florida State Seminoles. Florida State taking Game 1 in dominant fashion, 10-0 earlier this afternoon. And the Seminoles do come in atop the ACC standings, looking to try to finish out this regular season with another ACC regular season title. Meanwhile, Louisville just trying to make sure they get something positive going, stay in that top 10 so they can play in the ACC tournament here on their home field. On the call, I'm Jen Hildreth, along with NFCA Executive Director, longtime coach Carol Bruggeman. And Carol, Florida State looking pretty good in Game 1.
Oh, it was a complete team effort to earn the victory in Game 1. But remember, this is a 4-game series. Louisville can still come back and win this series, but they have to put more pressure on the Florida State defense and put some runs on the board.
Well, let's look back at that Game 1 win for the Seminoles. We'll start you off in the 5th inning. Florida State leading just 2-0 at this point, but the Seminoles know how to put the defense under some pressure.
Well, they sure do. Harding puts the ball in play, and Florida State, with their aggressive base running, scores 2 runs on the play. The very next batter, Anna Shellnut, executes the squeeze bunt, and Florida State increases their lead.
Then we go to the 7th inning and a very special pinch hit at bat for Emma Wilson, the redshirt freshman. How about taking your first career hit over the fence? 10-0, the final for the Seminoles. A lot of smiles, a lot of confidence for this team, which has now won 16 straight games. And Louisville, Carol, had runners in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings, but not much after that.
Oh, just had a very difficult time. It was 3 pitchers for Florida State that combined for the shutout, retired the last 18 batters. Louisville just 2 for 23 at the plate.
See if the Cardinals can pick things up there. First, though, we'll take a look at the Florida State starting lineup. No changes in terms of personnel, although some shuffling around toward the bottom of the order for Lonnie Alameda's team. Kirsten Landers, the batter. First pitch she faced was a strike. And you'd have to say that Taylor Roby in the circle certainly could give Louisville, Carol, one of the best chances at being the most competitive in this series.
Well, there's no question. She has pitched the majority of the innings for Louisville. A 2-way player, as she also is in the hitting lineup. One of the best hitters in the league. Just a competitor in the circle, and Louisville needs to bounce back quickly, and their best shot is absolutely with Roby in the circle.
3-1 the count now to Landers, and this Louisville team, the last time that they faced Florida State back in 2019, pretty memorable series. They handed the Seminoles the series loss, and that was the first series loss in ACC play for Florida State since 2012. They'd gone 52 series in a row without a loss prior to Louisville finding a way to take 2 of 3, and at the time, Florida State ranked in the top 5. Good start for Roby with the strikeout.
Well, this is exactly the start that Taylor Roby wanted, setting the tone with the strikeout in the circle. You're going to see her work all 4 parts of the strike zone. She can go up, down, in and out, throws with great velocity, and a good defender.
Sydney Sherrill, a couple of doubles to break the ACC all-time record in Game 1. Nothing doing this time as she hits it out to Carmen in left. Carmen Greenwood, she and her sister Cassidy both in the lineup in Game 2 for the Cardinals. And there is Cassidy behind the plate. A couple of changes for Louisville defensively in this game. Different players both at short and third, as well as behind the plate.
This is exactly the start so far that Louisville wants. You want to get that bad taste out of your mouth from the first game and move on quickly.
Kaylee Harding hits it to Bickle at short. And the freshman makes the play. 1-2-3 inning to get things started for the Cards. The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified April 18th through the 25th as ACC Unity Week. We've seen a lot of great efforts across the league in honor of Unity Week, and now we get a look at the starting pitcher for the Seminoles, Kaylin Arnold, the transfer from Tennessee.
Kaylin Arnold, another everyday starter for Florida State. Little opposite of Sander Koch in game one. You're going to see her work the upper half of the zone. Throws a terrific rise ball that's got a late jump. And with the speed and the velocity she throws with that spin up in the zone on the majority of her pitches, she gets a lot of swings and misses.
Arnold coming in with a 9-4 record, leads the team in strikeouts. Was a preseason All-ACC pick for the Seminoles. And right off the jump, she'll get a look at one of the best hitters in the ACC. Carmen Greenwood, the leadoff hitter for the Cardinals. Louisville could sure use opportunity to get her going after she went 0 for 3 in game one.
Yeah, coming into the series, she was the leader in hits within the league. And without her getting on base, that top part of the lineup really needs to be productive this game to give Louisville an opportunity.
Greenwood tries the bunt. We'll have to try again. And both Greenwood and Arnold starting their careers off in the SEC. Greenwood 2017-19 was at Auburn, with Arnold those same time frame at Tennessee. Greenwood, some good contact, deep and gone. There's a good start for the Cardinals.
Well, this is exactly what the Cardinal offense needs. This pitch is elevated, but it's right over the heart of the plate. And Carmen Greenwood goes up to get it, keeps the ball elevated through the zone. It's just enough, hits the top of the fence, and bounces over. A good sign and a good start for Louisville as they get their first run of the day.
Greenwood coming into the series with a batting average of .450, has quite a few doubles, but that was just her second home run. See if Maddie Newman can continue this good momentum for the Cardinals.
We mentioned how both these teams in the entire ACC is playing a 4-game series. And something you can't do is rest on the wins and celebrate them too long, and you also can't feel bad about the losses. You got to bounce right back, and Louisville showing good signs of life after a tough loss in game one.
Lonnie Alameda, head coach for Florida State, and Holly April, head coach for the Louisville Cardinals. Both of them have earned ACC Coach of the Year honors. April getting it in 2018 when she was with Pittsburgh. And Lonnie Alameda 5 times over has been ACC Coach of the Year in her time with the Seminoles. They both talked about how challenging it can be, these 4-game series. It's an adjustment, and that was a change made this year, trying to figure out how to do things during this COVID-19 pandemic that is still ongoing.
Well, there's no question. I mean, you're used to a 3-game series, but those games have been 1 game a day. Now you've got a doubleheader in there somewhere. And in this particular series, now we have 2 doubleheaders with the day off tomorrow because of weather. But that game 4 is just all about kind of gutting it out, gritting it out. It's also important to manage your energy level through game 1 and 2 so you have some energy left in game 4.
Arnold comes right back after giving off the leadoff home run to Greenwood with the strikeout.
Well, Arnold usually throws with a lot of velocity, but she takes a little off this one. It's got a little tumble on it, little drop through the zone with the off-speed pitch.
Taylor Roby, pitcher in this game too for the Cardinals. Also, as you said, Carol, a tremendous hitter, one of the best for Louisville. In fact, one of only 2 Louisville players to have a hit in game 1. Her 12 home runs on the season. Second in the ACC. Good contact and another hit for Taylor Roby and the Cardinals. It's bobbled a little bit by Landers out in left, but Roby will hold up at first.
Well, I like how Louisville is attacking pitches in the zone. We've seen some hard hit balls here in the first inning for Louisville. This is an inside pitch. Roby keeps her hands inside the ball. That allows her to barrel that one up. It's a long single to left field.
Michaela Hurst now the batter. Pop up, tough run. The catch cannot be made by Morgan in center. It drops in front of her glove. So Cardinals in business.
Well, good things happen when you swing the bat. Michaela Hurst gets the bottom of this rise ball, but it's right in that area, that little triangle between second, short, center field. Morgan makes a good effort on the ball, but can't get her glove underneath the ball as she tries to make a sliding catch, but it drops just in front. And Louisville has a runner in scoring position. They've already matched their hit total through the first 4 batters of this game than they did in the entire game in game 1.
Yeah. Exceeded it, in fact. They had just 2 hits in game 1. See, a pinch runner has come on for the Cardinals. It is Mia Forsyth, number 15. And while we're filling you in on pinch runners, Jenna Servey pinch running at first.
And Servey gets to come in for Michaela Hurst. Michaela Hurst started the game in the DP position, so with Servey in the flex spot, she's coming in to run for the DP. So good speed on the bases for Louisville.
And this is why, Carol, I love your background as a coach and also, of course, executive director NFCA. You can always explain these interesting changes when we see them. I knew I'd Servey in there in the lineup, so good explanation of how she's now there at first in place of Hurst.
You know, also no surprise here that Louisville's going to their bench early to get some speed on the bases. They haven't scored a run. Didn't score a run in game 1, and they didn't get many opportunities in game 1. So trying to take advantage early in this game of the base runners.
Charlie Butler, the batter, big swing, but no contact. Butler 1 for 3 in game 1. She and Roby accounting for the 2 hits for the Cardinals in the series opener. Not this time, though. Second strikeout for Arnold.
Just a low rise ball through the zone. Also has a little tail in toward Butler, so the ball's moving up and in. She swings right underneath the ball. Just a good late breaking pitch from Arnold.
Rebecca Chung in the designated player position in the lineup of game 2 for Louisville. She started at catcher in game 1. And you get the feeling Louisville realizing can't feel too comfortable. Just one run. Great start to this game, the leadoff home run, but they have an opportunity for more. Would sure like to take advantage of it. Chung pops it up, though. That will end the inning.
Well, Carmen Greenwood has the most hits in the ACC. This one goes over the fence, gives Louisville the lead. Cards up 1.
Florida State Seminoles have long been the dominant team in this conference. 10 ACC championship game appearances. They've won the last 6 ACC tournament titles. A regular fixture in the NCAA tournament, the Super Regionals, and let's not forget the first ACC team to win it all in 2018. And another great season under Lonnie Alameda with what the Seminoles are doing this year.
Oh, year in and year out, Florida State finds themselves at the top of the rankings, playing deep into the postseason. It's just so impressive what Coach Lonnie Alameda has been able to do with this program.
Seminoles coming in the top spot in the ACC standings. They were picked to win the ACC for the 8th consecutive year in the preseason. The team currently behind Florida State in the ACC standings, Clemson Tigers, those two not meeting up in the regular season. What an ACC tournament matchup that could be. Shellnut. Ball is fielded well and play made for out number 1. Mentioned a couple of changes for the Louisville Cardinals in this game. Servey moved over to third base. She was shortstop in game 1. Sydney Bickle, the freshman, comes on at short, and Cassidy Greenwood takes over behind the plate. Those are your 3 changes. Everyone else the same. Aside from the pitcher, of course, Taylor Roby in the circle. Cassidy Davis, the batter for Florida State, hits it over to Hurst at first for out number 2. And not a surprise, really, Carol, to see a couple of defensive changes and offensive changes in the lineup as well after some of the struggles that Louisville had in game 1. And you know, Holly April was pretty honest with us when she talked and said they're still trying to figure out really what the best lineup is, what the best defensive alignment is in terms of who's where.
And that's a very difficult position to be in at the end of April. You know, you expect those things in February, you expect them a little bit in early March, but by the heart toward the end of your conference season, you'd like to have your infield set. But Louisville has had a difficult time on that side of the field, on the third base side, shortstop side, so they've just keep rotating players, trying to find that combination that's going to get it done and also get it done on offense.
This is the 6th straight game for the Cardinals against a ranked opponent. They've now lost 5 in a row, and that includes the last 3 of the Duke series and then a midweek game at Kentucky. That line out will end the inning. Nothing doing yet for Florida State. Cardinals still up 1. We've got some spring football coming our way on ACC Network tomorrow with a triple header. Boston College will start you off at 11 a.m. Eastern, followed by Pittsburgh at 1, and North Carolina capping the afternoon at 3. All 4 games right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Game 2 of this doubleheader and this 4-game series between Louisville and the 7th-ranked Florida State Seminoles. This is the final home series for the Louisville Cardinals, as they'll go on the road for their final 2 ACC series after this, at Boston College, at North Carolina. Cardinals sitting in 7th place in the ACC standings coming into this series. Get our first look at Cassidy Greenwood, the younger sister of Carmen. Those two getting an opportunity to play together now after Carmen transferred from Auburn. Her first year with the Louisville program, the shortened season in 2020. Cardinals had some success in the first inning. Leadoff home run from Carmen Greenwood. But then they left a couple of runners stranded. Did have 3 hits, though, against Kaylin Arnold. (3-1). Swung on and missed. Full count.
Yeah, just a completely different tone from the Louisville offense from game 1 to the first inning of game 2. Being aggressive, hitting the ball hard, barreling it up. A lot of base runners.
I'd imagine, Carol, you want to see that response, right, from your team when you lose the first game of a series. Double digits, 10-0, the scoreline for Florida State in game 1. I think Holly April likes what she sees so far.
Oh, no question. And in this league, in this year, I mean, this is a very strong conference, and you don't have time to dwell on what happened, 30 minutes ago. You've got to lace the shoes up and get back out there and, punch back, so to speak. And Louisville has done that.
Greenwood's pop-up is caught by Muffley, first out of the inning. And a player Louisville really would love to try to get going, who is, if you'll pardon the pun, caught in a bit of a funk. Celine Funky, their senior, who has typically been so reliable for them, but has struggled this season, as you can see, with that batting average.
Yeah, typically she's been at the leadoff spot or the 2 spot her entire career. Starting center fielder. A lot of triples in her career. Has great speed, but having a tough time getting on base. Working on some things on her mental game to kind of help her get back on track.
Yeah, she pops this one up, but when she does get on base, such a great threat. 68 stolen bases in her career. That's tied for 2nd in Louisville history. She also, you mentioned the triples, has 22 of those. But just got to get there first, get the bat on the ball. Sydney Bickle, the 5'8" freshman from Peoria, Arizona, getting the start at shortstop in this game. Has had a couple of opportunities to get in the starting lineup for Louisville this season. This is her 19th start.
You're facing a pitcher like Kaylin Arnold. It's so important to kind of set your top of the strike zone, and anything above that, got to be disciplined enough to let the ball go, because she's always going to work middle to upper part of the zone. Mixes in a little off speed there, and that's the pitch that's made a big difference for her. She's got a little sink on her change, so everything's going up in the zone, and then she comes back with this off speed. That change of speed just really caught Bickle off guard.
And she catches Bickle on that pitch. Third strikeout of the game for Kaylin Arnold. End of 2, Louisville up 1, but Arnold doing the work in the circle. Retires 3 straight batters, including this strikeout to end the inning.
Watch me do what I do. I'm in charge. I make the rules. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to prove. Yeah, I'm in charge. I run the school.
Louisville, Kentucky is the site of the ACC Softball Championship this year. We'll have every pitch on our family of ESPN networks, and it's been a while. We're all ready for those postseason tournaments. 732 days will have passed since we last got to see some tournament postseason softball. Get to see Clemson in the ACC tournament for the first time. Tigers in their second year of existence, just having a great year, sitting in second in the ACC standings. But everybody, Carol, trying to knock the Seminoles off the throne. Florida State, 17 ACC championships overall, including the last 6 tournament titles. Devin Flaherty hits it over to third. The throw from Servey way off the mark. It goes into the dugout.
And when you open the door for Florida State, Servey makes a nice backhanded play, but doesn't get her hips squared around. She knew she needed to get rid of the ball quickly. Flaherty has great speed from the left side, and because she rushed her throw and was out of position, ball gets away from her. She advances to second on the air.
Yeah, and you said it. Anytime you open that door just a crack, it seems like Florida State, that is when the Seminoles are at their best. Game 1 close through the first couple of innings. No score through 2. And then little by little, Florida State, when given an opening, they find a way to just keep moving those runners around.
Well, they sure do. And even in that situation, we just saw Muffley doesn't get the bunt down, but Flaherty's not just thinking about advancing to third. What's she thinking about? Scoring. That's just Florida State's mentality. Not trying to go 1 base at a time. They're trying to go 2 bases.
Florida State coming into this series leading the ACC in stolen bases and walks. Also very good defensively. Josie Muffley, redshirt sophomore, transfer from Tulsa, and her second year with the Seminoles, has started every game at shortstop. Little conversation going on here with Holly April and our home plate umpire. Not quite sure what the discussion may be. Got Flaherty on second, reached on the throwing error by Servey, and then continued to second base. Two the count to Josie Muffley. In play to second. And Newman took a quick glance over there, knew she didn't have a shot at catching Flaherty, but also that Flaherty wasn't going to try for home, at least not yet. So Flaherty on third as Muffley moves her over.
And Muffley, that's just a quality at bat. Even though she struggled to get the bunt down, popped a few up, fouled a few off, she still found a way to get the ball to the right side to advance Flaherty to third base. You could hear her team excited for her. You're thinking, what are they so excited about? She's ground ball out to the second baseman. Well, she had to really work to have a quality at bat there, getting down in the count early, still found a way to move the runner.
Danny Morgan, bottom of the lineup for Florida State. Seminoles so aggressive. And what were you going to say, Carol?
Exactly the word. You took it out of my mouth. Still aggressive on the squeeze.
And squeeze, the runner is going home. And the squeeze works, as that's just out number 2 for Morgan over at first.
And we are seeing vintage Florida State. They do not have a hit in this inning, but it's a contact play. The base runner Flaherty is going on contact. Any ground ball in the infield, they're forcing the play to happen at the plate. The ball was not hit hard, too much speed. Her only play was at first.
Florida State manufacturing the game-tying run. As you said, doing it without a hit thus far. Landers hits it over to Hurst at first, but the Florida State Seminoles find their answer, tie this game up, top of the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd, top of the order coming up for Louisville. That means Carmen Greenwood gets a chance to follow up this. That's how she started off this game with a solo home run, 2nd of her season. Greenwood, a little different look. Has some versatility with what she can do at the plate.
Well, she sure does, and that's what makes her so tough to defend. You're thinking after that last at-bat, okay, she's swinging away today. She's got her power going. She feels good about seeing the ball, and then she tries to drop one in front of the plate and beat it out. She really has a variety of ways she can get on base. So defensively,
0-2 count.
Especially as an infield, you don't know where to play. Do I play in because she has such good speed, or do I play back to give myself a little more range? And so you'll see the infielders, you know, depending on the count a little bit. 0-2 count, 1-2 count now. Probably going to go away from the bunt, the short game. Stick to swinging the bat and play a little deeper. But it's this constant challenge with how to defend Carmen Greenwood.
Went up high to get that ball and belted into center field. She's 2 for 2.
Well, Greenwood had such a quiet, quick swing. She is on time with this pitch up in the zone. She lets it get deep in the box and then explodes right on time. No wasted motion in that swing.
Greenwood also the top base stealer for the Cardinals. Has stolen 8 on the year. Maddie Newman now up. Greenwood is indeed on her way to second. The throw got there in time, but bounced up out of the glove of Flaherty. Might have hit off the plate too.
Well, and you get the feeling that Louisville has seen enough of this Florida State base running. They're going to be aggressive as well on the very first pitch. Just short hops. The throw is short hopped. And it's a challenging play for Flaherty. She tries to field the ball in the short hop and make the tag, but Greenwood goes in hard for the stolen base.
So the Cardinals now with a runner in scoring position. (1-1) for Newman. And the stolen base department, Carol, Florida State certainly has done it better, done it much more often.
I mean, those numbers are accurate. 89 stolen bases, just 29 for Louisville on the season. And conversely, Florida State has only allowed 11. Anna Shellnut has had a lot to do with that. But Louisville gets one here this inning.
See if they can do anything with it now as Greenwood at second. Shellnut with that great arm you mentioned behind the plate. Super senior, if you will. Battled some injuries and an arm surgery. Kind of wanted to prove herself, come back, be with this team after those setbacks. Diving play cannot be made. Great effort by Muffley to at least stop the ball. But now runners at first and second.
And these are the little plays in a game that you don't see in the scorebook, but they make a difference in the game. Muffley takes a couple steps to third, just read the ball wrong, and has to come all the way back. Look at this effort just to keep the ball in the infield, which prevents Greenwood from getting to third base. Great effort by the shortstop.
Certainly limits the damage. Back-to-back singles now. Taylor Roby took the first pitch, and as Muffley is down, she was kind of bent over holding herself. It looked for a moment like there might be some more action on the base paths, but the runner stayed put. Michaela Hurst, the batter, singled in the first inning, trying to make the most of this good start to the inning by the Cardinals. Back-to-back singles, one out after Roby's pop-up. Hurst, bouncing ball, one down, they can't get two, the runner coming for home, and the Cardinals, their turn to take advantage of a miscue.
Well, Florida State leads the league in double plays turned, and they try to get out of the inning here as Cheryl wisely goes to second. It's a good exchange, but the ball gets out of Flaherty's hands. As you see Newman go in hard, and Greenwood scores easily, reads the play, gets away. Louisville goes back on top.
Good heads-up base running there by Carmen Greenwood. Hurst on first due to the fielder's choice, and that run unearned after the error recorded by Flaherty. No errors for Florida State in the first game. But Louisville taking advantage in game two. Charlie Butler now the batter. Does she find a hole? She does. Green grass. And the good inning continues for the Cards.
Now, right now, Louisville is really timing up Caitlin Arnold. Even though this ball isn't hit hard or hit well, it finds a gap, and Louisville is making things happen by swinging the ball, swinging the bat, being aggressive, gets the bottom half of the ball, but Louisville's not taking many pitches in this game. They have come out swinging. We see the first pitch swinging there with Chung, but they have taken a much more aggressive mindset into game two, and it's paying off for them.
Rebecca Chung, former ACC All-Freshman team selection in 2019. has earned the reputation as a pretty good clutch hitter, including what she did in that series finale against Florida State in 2019. Chung with 2 outs had a walk-off 3-run double to win it.
There's a few games as a coach you really remember. They stick in your mind. A few games that you watch or a part of the broadcast team, and that is definitely one with 9 runs scored in the 7th inning alone and Louisville walking it off. Just the atmosphere was electric.
Yeah, you were on the call for that game, Carol. I know we didn't have to refresh your memory too much when we were looking back at it, getting ready for this series. And what's a significant game that was and win that was. Louisville won Game 3 of the 3-game series, handed Florida State its first series loss in ACC play since 2012. And that was another really strong Florida State team too. Weren't they ranked really high? I think number 3 at the time. One-two coming. And Chung just battling up there.
She sure is, especially at swinging at one of those inside rise balls that got more of her hand than the bat, I think, while she was swinging at it. A little bit of a self-defense swing there, but she's been able to shake it off and continues to battle.
Swing and a miss. That will sit down Chung and end the inning. But the Louisville Cardinals back on top. They retake the lead over the 7th-ranked Seminoles as we move to the bottom of the 3rd.
Can you hear that?
Touchdown, Clemson! 67 yards, Trevor Lawrence.
Next chapter.
NFL Draft begins Thursday on ESPN and ABC.
Carol, I know you're ready to rock. See what's going to happen with Trevor Lawrence. Will he go number 1? By all projections, it looks like it will be that way. You keeping a close eye on any particular team?
Well, I would love for him to be able to go to Chiefs Kingdom, but that is not going to happen. Their pick is way too far down the line. And Patrick Mahomes might have something to say with that. He's pretty darn good.
Yeah, you're doing all right in the quarterback department, I would say. Top of the 4th we go. Florida State trailing Louisville by a run here in Game 2 of this series. Sydney Sherrill has been red hot, but Taylor Roby says head on back to the dugout.
Roby just has a special knack of a little bit of tail on her ball. Just tucks it right in the corner. Sydney Sherrill can do nothing with it.
See if Kaylee Harding can have a little more success. Florida State still without a hit in this game. They do have a run. Made the most of an error in the 3rd inning, and then just some heads-up aggressive base running.
It's really like Roby's tempo in this game. You know, you can tell her team follows her lead. She has this calm, steady presence, very competitive.
Harding, hard hit to Newman, who makes the play.
That's really the first hard hit ball we've seen in a while. But for Florida State, it had the atoms. It was right at Maddie Newman, who was able to knock it down and make the play. But Roby has worked at a good tempo. She's mixing all of her pitches, all of her speeds. She's got a little tail on the ball that just does this late little shift on the inside or outside corner. Makes it very difficult to barrel it up.
Hannah Shellnut, the batter, looking for that first hit for the Seminoles in this game. Florida State 12 for 34 in game 1 at the plate. Had 9 different players with a hit, but 0 for 13 now in game 2. 3 up, 3 down. Good inning for the Louisville defense and pitching.
I don't think we talk about Kayla Kowalik enough at all. I don't even think if we've talked about her. How far can you go with a one-headed monster?
They gave every other team hope that they can beat Oklahoma.
Too many benevolent balls, too many walks. If you're intimidated, you're done.
Amanda, if you strike me out once, you're not going to do it again.
I'm intimidated by that crew, that's for sure, but they are a lot of fun to listen to in the 7 Innings podcast. Here's what they're talking about. How about them Dogs, Carol? Everybody asking, is Oklahoma ever going to lose? Georgia answered that question.
And Georgia is one of those programs that just finds ways. They seem to elevate to the moment. We watched them do it, the Super Regional in 2016 to Florida to go to the World Series, knocked off #1. They did it again against Oklahoma at home. Just a big win for that program.
Oklahoma had, what was it, 40 straight wins before that loss, and Sooners responded with a run rule victory after that against Georgia, but still they showed a little vulnerability. Greenwood pops up. This is Cassidy Greenwood for out #1. Big deep breath for Celine Funky as the senior steps to the plate. Such a great leader, as you've talked about. Trying to do a little more leading with her bat, and it can be so difficult, as you know, Carol, just to try not to let it get in your head, but to know you want to be able to do more, as she's just really been struggling at the plate.
Well, she has, and she has so many tools. I'd love to see her use her short game a little more. Really shorten up and do what I call chop slap. Really use the infield. The infield is your friend if you're a slapper, because she has such tremendous speed. She can force the defense. Either she can find a gap with a hole and a base hit, or force the defense to rush. They are playing a little tighter, but I'd love to see her try to use the ground. She's taking a really big swing right now, and she does have the power to hit it to the outfield. She's had a lot of triples throughout her career, but right now, when you're not quite seeing the ball well, she has that tool to go to, that short game, using the infield.
Funky to Flaherty, and maybe that's what she needs to get her going. The normally solid and stalwart Florida State defense now with the second error of the game.
That's exactly what Louisville needed. It's not a base hit, but the result is you have one of your best base runners on base, which is what matters the most. And Flaherty charges this ball, but stops at the last minute, kind of lets the ball play her. Would have loved to have seen her take another step and go through that ball. Funky now a steal threat at first base.
Bottom of the lineup, Sydney Bickle, the 5'8" freshman at the plate. She struck out in her first at bat. Bickle getting an opportunity to be back in the lineup. Did not play in game 1.
Funky was in motion with that pitch. Louisville's much more aggressive. Now they have more base runners to be aggressive with in game 2, but they have put runners in motion. Both of these teams have that mentality, kind of pushing the envelope, forcing the action. I love that decision when you're playing against a team like Florida State, #1 in the league in defense. Got to do something. As Funky's in motion again, you've got to do something to force them out of their comfort zone and out of their element. I mean, they're, as you mentioned, very uncharacteristic to have 2 errors in one game that they have today. But in general, they have been rock solid all season long on defense.
Ball dribbles foul. So everybody will go back. And one of the things about this Louisville team that Holly April talked to us about was they're tested. They've had a tough schedule. They have not gotten all the results that they've wanted. 10-6 now in ACC play after losing game 1, but 16 of their 21 losses coming against the top 25. I mean, they have played some really tough teams and played a lot of them close.
Well, they sure have. You talk about the extra inning, the 1 run, the 2 run games they've been in. It's just, it's unbelievable. So every game, every time they get in that situation, Funky was hoping the 3rd time was the charm there, that she was in motion, but it wasn't. But they have put together a very challenging schedule. Early in the season, they went on the road to Alabama, on the road to Florida. They have played a very challenging ACC schedule. They've played Clemson. They've played Virginia Tech. They've played Duke. Now they're playing Florida State. So game after game after game, not a lot of success, as you mentioned, against the top 25 opponents. But look at the number of games that they've played.
Yeah, that's a lot of opportunities to test yourself. And what Coach April telling us, just hoping her team could come out of it with some confidence as Bickle is struck out.
Well, this is one of the best rise balls Kaylin Arnold has thrown today. Put a little more velocity on it. It jumps through the zone. It jumps late, so Bickle can't hold up.
Kaylin Arnold struggled against the leadoff hitter for the Cardinals, Carmen Greenwood. She's coming up next, and a pitching change coming for the Seminoles. We'll tell you all about it after a short break. The new pitcher for the Seminoles, someone very familiar with this Louisville team. It is former Louisville Cardinal Danielle Watson. She came on in relief in game 1 as well, and comes on here in relief of Arnold.
And you're going to see her work up in the zone. She is a power pitcher. Tries to pound the upper part of the strike zone, has good velocity. You're not going to see as much off speed. She's just going to attack the zone with a lot of velocity. Rise ball, fastball combination.
Little more pressure for Watson this time around coming into this game. Her team down a run. She came on in the 6th inning. And the Seminoles had the game well in hand in game 1. Pitched 1 1/3, no hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. Runner is going. Funky trying to get into second and will.
And this is how valuable Funky is. Times it, look how powerful and explosive, no wasted motion, goes straight in. Remember, Florida State leads the league, has not given up many stolen bases all season long, and Funky made that look easy.
Carmen Greenwood at the plate, 2 for 2 today with a leadoff home run to start the game in the 1st inning. Then she singled, came around to score in the 3rd. And this is how this game started. Carol Greenwood going yard.
Set the tone early. It was elevated pitch in the zone, hits the top of the fence, bounces out, comes right back. Wasn't done in the 3rd inning, goes right up the middle as well, has both RBIs.
still battling away now here in the fourth. New pitcher to face, new/old, her former teammate Danielle Watson, who is at Louisville 2018 and 2019. Two-two pitch, swung on and missed. So the first round there goes to Danielle Watson. Big moment as she comes on in relief.
Comes out of the bullpen, goes low in the zone, strikes out the leading hitter in the ACC.
Back in Louisville, Kentucky, top of the fifth, 7th-ranked Florida State down a run against the Louisville Cardinals in game 2 of this 4-game ACC series. We'll be coming back to bring you the first game of the doubleheader on Sunday. You can catch that one on ACC Network at noon. A couple of doubleheaders make up this 4-game series after things were rearranged due to some inclement weather expected in the area tomorrow. So we have our doubleheader today, and then we'll have a doubleheader on Sunday as well. First game on ACC Network, second game on ACC Network Extra, and you can also find it on the ESPN app. So whatever happens, Carol, it'll be a full day for either of these two teams to think about it, and just think about what a huge difference this could make in the psyche for Louisville, especially if they can find a way to hang on here and take down the 7th-ranked team in game 2.
Well, there's no question, especially just the manner in which they lost the first game. Just really weren't a threat offensively. Florida State was running bases at will and put up a double-digit score against them, but they have bounced back nicely. And with a 4-game series, that's why it's so challenging to win a series, to win 3 of those games out of the 4 or sweep a series.
Cassidy Davis, the leadoff hitter for Florida State in this inning. Number 5 hitter for the Seminoles. Certainly life being made much more difficult for Florida State in this game. Full count. Davis wanted the walk, and she'll take it. Florida State the best in the ACC in taking those free passes. They lead the league in walks.
Well, that's Roby's first walk of the game. And it was a very close pitch. Florida State is so disciplined at the plate. Really make you come over the plate.
Pinch runner in at first. Deion Riggs will step in for Davis. Elizabeth Mason, the batter, the runner going, the throw gets there. And once again, Louisville taken out of Florida State would-be base stealer. This time it's Greenwood.
Well, this play was not even close. It's Greenwood with a strike. Louisville's up 1.
Saw that in game 1. Florida State in the first inning, I believe it was. Yes, had a runner caught stealing, and now once again, Cardinals taking away a little bit of that momentum.
Oh, they sure did, and that one wasn't even close. I mean, that was just an outstanding exchange between Greenwood and Bickle.
So you've had two different catchers now throw out some base runners for the Cardinals in this series.
Well, and you can bet that was on the practice plan for the week.
Yeah.
I know Louisville had a road game at Kentucky on Wednesday, but the rest of the week when they did have practice, you know, they know how much Florida State loves to steal. #1 team in the conference in stolen bases.
Mason down in front of Roby, who makes the play, out number 2. Devin Flaherty scored the only run for the Seminoles in this game. She reached on an error back in the 3rd, wound up coming around to score. She's swinging, hitting it to first, and a quick recovery from Hurst as the Seminoles still hitless and down a run. Not just an excited fan in the stands during the 5th inning stretch, but Celine Funky's dad having a little fun watching his daughter play. I like it. She's got her game face on, but Dad's having a good time out there in the stands. And right now, watching his daughter's team fight here against the Florida State Seminoles in Game 2. Cardinals with the lead. Trying to add a little insurance, make themselves feel a bit more comfortable as we get into the late innings, where in Game 1, that's where Florida State really did a lot of damage. 8 runs in the final 3 innings for the Seminoles of that one, and they won it 10-0. Danielle Watson, the transfer from Louisville, now pitching for the Seminoles, and Maddie Newman, the batter. #2 hitter for the Cardinals.
See how tight the infield is playing against Newman, respecting her speed.
Great catch made in the outfield. What an effort by Morgan.
Well, this play starts with the mindset of Danny Morgan. No hesitation. She fully commits, fully extends, keeps her head and eye on the ball, gets her glove under the ball. And talk about a play that'll fire your defense up. When you see an outfielder go all out and make a catch like that, big momentum shift.
Taylor Roby will try to take a little bit of that back. She's been so good in the circle for Louisville in this game. Also one of their best hitters.
Just so many players. Taylor Roby would be definitely toward the top of the list of pitchers who also hit in this conference. Think about Brittany Pickett from North Carolina. You have to mention Valerie Cagle from Clemson. Peyton Tidd from Notre Dame. Just a lot of very strong pitcher utility or two-way players. And Coach Holly April, when she played at UMass, she was also one of those two-way players. She could pitch and hit, play outfield. She really did it all.
Yeah, and we asked her about that. Said absolutely she looks for that type of player. Kind of look for the type of player she was as Roby hits it to Cheryl at third for the second out. She laughingly told us you tend to want to recruit yourself, well, especially if you had a career like she did. Why not? As you mentioned, played at UMass, is in the UMass Athletic Hall of Fame. It's a pitcher and an outfielder, two-time A-10 Player of the Year, and was also A-10 Pitcher of the Year in her career there. April, just the second head coach in Louisville softball history, taking over for Sandy Pearsall, who started the program. We know you coach with, Carol, as that will end the inning. Nothing more insurance-wise for Louisville. Florida State Seminoles still looking to get things going offensively. We said at the beginning of this game that Taylor Roby in the circle might just give you the best chance to win if you're Louisville, and so far so good in that regard.
She has had a dominant performance, controlling and commanding the strike zone, really limited this Florida State offense. Very different right now than game one of this game. It shows you she also can field. One of Louisville's best infielders in the circle.
Yeah, the Seminoles 12 hits in game one, but they have struggled to get anything going in game two. Do have a run that they manufactured, making use of a throwing error in the third inning as Flaherty came around to score. Josie Muffley, the shortstop, leading off the sixth inning.
And that location, that's the pitch she's had working today. Little screwball inside, it drops late, spins in late, it's low pitch. Just outstanding accuracy today. This one, that is a good looking pitch on the corner. And I've just really enjoyed her tempo and her rhythm today. She keeps her defense engaged, throws a lot of strikes, just moving the ball through the zone. Really has not allowed any big innings, even many base runners for Florida State.
Yeah, she's very much been in the zone, if you will. Not easy to do against this Florida State team. Muffley off the end of the bat. Easy play for Hurst. Oh, that was foul, so Muffley's at bat will continue.
Well, as you mentioned, it's not only a challenge to keep Florida State off the bases and off the scoreboard, but they're in the middle of this long winning streak. So you're placing a team that's really confident, knows how to win.
Muffley deep to left, and now she is retired for the first down of the inning. Yeah, 16 straight Florida State has won, and they've been playing some good softball during that stretch. Danny Morgan now at the plate for Florida State. Morgan, a redshirt senior.
You face a Taylor Roby, you can't pick one side of the plate either. Sometimes your strategy is, all right, this pitcher's really shutting us down. Let's pick one side, but she works in and out.
And the defense doing its job, taking care of Morgan. 2 down now for Florida State. Top of the order we go. Kirsten Landers swinging at the first pitch, the freshman, redshirt freshman out of Scott Depot, West Virginia. And with the oddity that was 2020, Kirsten Landers can call herself a freshman for the third year in a row. She redshirted 2019, an ACL injury. Tough play to make, and it is not made by the defense. Landers gets on. We'll see how that is scored. But the base runners have been few and far between for Florida State in this game.
And this is what speed can do for you. This is a chopped ball on the infield, and Newman gives her best effort, charges the ball. Would like to see her just scoop it instead of trying to throw it. It gets away. She advances to second on the air.
What do you say, Carol? We'll wait for the official scoring. Hit, error, initially.
I'd like to see that play again, but it would definitely not taken that ordinary effort. I would have gone with the air for Maddie Newman. She could have scooped the ball underneath.
Looks like it is officially being ruled an error, so let's see if Florida State can take advantage. It's exactly what the Seminoles did in the third inning. They had a throwing error on Jenna Servey at third and wound up coming around to score. And now, we'll add a little insult to injury. Cheryl on with a walk.
Well, yeah, especially because Roby's only given up one other walk, and it was a very close there on that initial walk, but after the error, something we haven't seen all day from Roby, and that is a 4-pitch walk to Sydney Cheryl.
2 outs in the inning, but 2 on now for Florida State. And there was an error on that play that allowed Landers to reach, but it was also scored a single. So just in case you were keeping track at home, that would be the first hit of this game for Florida State, as Roby had the no-hitter working up until that point.
And there's not a pitcher in the country that doesn't know when they have a no-hitter going. And so, you know, it's a little bit of a mental challenge. Once you know it's late in the game and that's happened, you got to kind of continue to fight in the circle.
Crucial moment here for Roby and Louisville. Trying to hang on to that 1-run lead, top of the 6th, 2 out. But this scrappy, aggressive Florida State team ready to pounce if you give them any kind of an opening. Harding, foul.
Now that's the type of team Florida State has this year. You feel like this whole game they've been playing, you know, on their heels a little from behind, and yet they're battling.
Well, Louisville escapes. The no-hitter broken up, but the lead still intact. The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified April 18th through the 25th as ACC Unity Week. So you'll see that around the conference across many of the sports, patches like that on the uniforms, special warm-up shirts as well. Bottom of the 6th inning coming your way from Louisville. This is a big one for the Cardinals, trying to fend off this 7th-ranked Florida State team that has won 16 straight. Seminoles had their biggest threat in the top half of the inning. Had a couple of runners on, but could not bring anybody around to score. See if Charlie Butler and the Cards can find some insurance in the bottom half of the inning.
Adding that extra run as the home team in the bottom of the 6th. Just knowing you need 3 outs, you need to hold Florida State 3 outs. You know, 1 run doesn't seem like a big, it's a challenge, but it's not a huge challenge. But if you can extend that lead by just 1, it can feel like 10 to the opposing team.
Second game of this 4-game series. The first one dominated by Florida State, a 10-0 win. Quite a different story being told in game 2. Butler pops it up. A little basket catch by Muffley at short. Got a pinch hitter coming in place of Rebecca Chung, who we saw holding her hand in the dugout after, we think, a pitch that came in on her back in the 3rd inning may have caused her some problems. So you can see Chung there in the bullpen catching, but babying that hand, her right hand, and Taryn Weddle comes on to pinch hit. Here's a play that we think may be bothering Chung from back in the 3rd.
Swung at this pitch up in the zone, immediately drops the bat.
Yeah, she fought through the remainder of that at bat, wound up striking out, but has been in some discomfort since then. Was in the designated player role. Weddle also had a pinch hit at bat in game 1. There's the ice on the hand of Chung. That'll certainly be a concern. Has another day to hopefully let that heal and get to feeling a little better. No games tomorrow, as inclement weather expected in the area. So we'll finish things off with a doubleheader on Sunday. First one of those coming up at 12 Eastern on ACC Network. You can catch it right here. Hope you'll come back and join us. 3-0 to Weddle. Saw it for a strike.
Yeah, Chung is one of those hitters that just looks a little discolored, and it looks a little sore, but getting some attention there.
So a pinch hit walk for Weddle. She'll take it. Cassidy Greenwood due up for Louisville. Greenwood has popped it up. Her first 2 at-bats. Cassidy, younger sister of Carmen.
And Watson has fallen behind here after giving up the walk to the pinch hitter. Weddle's fallen behind, and Shelnut goes out to give a word of encouragement. So important to keep this lead at 1 run for Florida State as they try to mount a comeback.
I wonder what type of emotions might be running through the mind of Danielle Watson, first time facing her former team. Ball in the dirt. Well, though, did not make an attempt for second. 3-0 count.
Well, being behind 3-0, Watson just rears back and fires a fastball. The last thing she wants to do is walk 2 batters in a row.
Fights her way back to bring this count full. Three-two is high, and it is back-to-back walks. Couple of free passes for the Cardinals. And as Lonnie Alameda makes her way out to the circle, that may do it for Danielle Watson. Emma Wilson warming up in the bullpen. She had a big game 1. Started it off with a pinch hit home run in the top of the 7th for her first career hit, and then she came on, pitched the last 2/3 of the inning to end the game with 2 flyouts. So we'll see if we see the right-handed freshman from Dallas, Georgia.
Well, and Coach Alameda going out to talk to her pitcher in the infield. Back-to-back walks here in the 6th inning after getting the first out. And as you mentioned, the emotions very high coming into this series for Danielle Watson, who played 2 seasons for Louisville before transferring to Florida State. Coach Alameda talking a lot about the ability to still play with emotion and not make this situation emotional.
Yeah,
I'm sure that conversation was just kind of a redirect and a refocus for Danielle Watson.
Watson will give it a go against Celine Funky, who reached on an error in the 4th. Holly April quickly over to our home plate umpire. Pinch runner coming in at first for Louisville. That is Vanessa Miller. Freshman makes her first appearance of this series. She's on for Greenwood at first.
Watson really struggling right now. 11 of her last 14 pitches have been balls. Just having a tough time finding the strike zone. Kind of falling into this little bit of a spiral.
First 2 batters before Funky were walked. The first batter of the inning, Butler, popped up for the first out, but since then, 2 free passes and now a 3-0 count to Celine Funky.
Well, can she battle back? Had a 3-0 count to Greenwood. Greenwood drew the walk. Now with Funky, had a 3-0 count, has battled back. Can she come all the way back?
3-1 pitch, strike 2. Funky fought for it, got it through. 1 run comes across. And the Cardinals do indeed get that much needed insurance. And that fire right there, Carol, that, what you see from Funky, that is what you miss as much as anything when she's not getting it going at the plate.
And she just finds a way on this pitch, keeps her hands inside, and finds a gap. And once it is past Elizabeth Mason, who does not get in front of the ball, Louisville is off to the races. That walk comes back to hurt Florida State. And as you mentioned, now a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th, and a breath of relief and a jolt of enthusiasm from Celine Funky, who's been struggling at the plate, gets a big single for her team.
She was just 1 for 20 before that at bat. So a big at bat for Celine Funky. A big run to give Louisville a 2-run cushion. See if the Cardinals can add on a little more. Sydney Bickle, the batter. Bickle batting in the 9 spot tonight. Just a 171 average on the season. She has struggled, and that continues. That is her 3rd strikeout of the game.
A big strikeout for Watson as she comes back after giving up the double to Funky. But now she has to face one of the toughest hitters in the league in Carmen Greenwood.
Well, Greenwood was the first batter that Watson faced when she came on in the 4th inning with 2 outs. Wound up striking her out. It was a huge strikeout to end that inning. Now Greenwood, who was 2 for 2 before that, including a home run, has 2 runners on in front of her. Greenwood drives it into right. Another run for Louisville. And the Cardinals extend their lead even more.
Oh, what an inning for Louisville as Greenwood takes this pitch. It's too much of the plate. And she does not miss, pulls it into right field, and with Funky at second base and her speed, that is 2 runs for Louisville as they add to their lead in the 6th inning.
2-run single for Greenwood, who's having herself a day in this 2nd game. She had a 7-game hitting streak, snapped in game 1 when she went 0 for 3. Different story game 2. 3 for 4 with a home run, a single, and now that 2-run single. Newman is out at first, so that will do it. But has Greenwood and Louisville done enough? Last chance for 4. The series between Louisville and Florida State, not without some drama in their history. 2019, this was game 3 of the series. Sydney Sherrill with a huge grand slam in the top of the 7th, but Louisville had more to say, Carol.
On the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs and the bases loaded, Rebecca Chung with the double cleared the bases. It was a walk-off hit. They won the game. They won the series against Florida State.
First series loss for the Seminoles there since 2012. And this is a team that came into this game tonight having won 16 in a row with great production, just have not been able to get it going at the plate in game 2.
It's been a tough night for the Seminoles, although the game is not over, and you'd never count Florida State out, especially throughout the winning streak that they've been on. They have found all sorts of ways to win in extra innings, but they've got their work cut out for them here against Taylor Roby.
It's their cleanup hitter, Anna Shellnut, to lead off the inning. See if she can get something started. Rally caps being put on in the dugout. Love the look. Little support, however you want to get it from the dugout. Well, Shellnut tricked on that pitch by Roby for the first out.
Well, Roby has been in complete command. Look at this ball, tail toward the inside part of the plate. There's no chance for Shellnut. And how do you keep Florida State, a team that loves to steal bases and loves to look 2 bases at a time, draws a lot of walks, does everything they can to manufacture runs? How do you prevent that from happening? Well, you put Taylor Roby in the circle today and you prevent them from even getting the base in the first place.
Yeah, she's been superb. Just 1 hit allowed by this incredibly impressive Florida State team, but Louisville really showing some fight in game 2. Davis, deep, but caught, 2 down. Louisville Cardinals 1 out away from evening this series up with a win apiece. Elizabeth Mason, the batter for Florida State. Seminoles have not lost an ACC game since they were involved in pod play back in February. They lost 2 to Virginia Tech. Since then, nothing but wins. That, however, is over after this performance by Taylor Roby and the Louisville Cardinals, who take game 2 5-1.
What a bounce back effort from the Louisville Cardinals, led by Taylor Roby in the circle, who had complete command. Carmen Greenwood was on fire.
One of the best hitters in the ACC, showing you why here in game 2.
Well, how about she started the game with a home run, put Louisville on the board early. They never looked back. Shows you she has extra base power, also has the ability in the 3rd inning. How about a single right up the middle? This is a hitter who leads the ACC in hits. She's showing you why. She can hit for average and hit for power with the home run. And more in the 6th inning. 2 RBIs on that single. All smiles for Louisville with the bounce back victory.
Really impressed with what the Cardinals did, getting obliterated 10-0 in game 1, but powerfully bouncing back with a 5-1 win in game 2. You ready to see how this series finishes up? Take a break tomorrow. Come back and join us on Sunday. We'll have it for you at noon Eastern on the ACC Network. So for Carol Bruggeman, I'm Jen Hilder saying so long from Louisville.